You have to wonder why it's left to this show, of all places, to announce the rising star, the next rising star in the Democratic Party. But it is, so we're going to. It's a woman called Tiara Mack. You never heard of Tiara Mack? Well, maybe that's because she's a state senator in the country's smallest state, Rhode Island. And you have to wonder why. This is a woman with demonstrated talent who has, as she announced on social media just this week, an Ivy League degree from Brown, but still technically Ivy League. Famous people send their kids there. Whatever, it's Brown. You should be impressed. And she's an amazing performer. Here's her latest campaign ad.
Vote Senator Mack.
So you ever have those moments where you see something and you're like, oh, that's the future. That's what it looks like. We saw Tiara Mack, head in the sand, twerking, and we thought, man, that's the Democratic Party 2020. So not everyone liked it, and she responded this way on Twitter, quote, damn, twerking upside down really makes the conservative, unhinged internet accounts pop off on Monday. And nevertheless, she wrote, I'm really excited for the House sex ed bill hearing later today. Teaching comprehensive, queer, inclusive, pleasure-based sex ed was a highlight of my time teaching. And you gotta wonder, since she just summarized everything the Democratic Party is for, why isn't her own party embracing her? Why is she still a state senator in Rhode Island? Why isn't she Secretary of State? Why aren't they pushing her for president? Oh, she's not old enough. Really? Because the racist Constitution said she's not old enough? Why not change the Constitution? Why not make Tiara Mack your standard bearer in 2024? But they're not. They're pushing Joe Biden. He's like 100 years old, pale, stale Joe Biden, and then Hillary Clinton and Pete Buttigieg. Again, talk about systemic racism. Tiara Mack, 2024. She ought to run with the guy in the dress who oversees Biden's nuclear waste program.
Oh, good morning.
Morning. What's even good twerking?
Why she got to stick her head in the sand like that?
Man, and black people hair, you know that had to just be so hard to get clean. Like,
you got to take it to the dry cleaners. It's a whole thing.
oh, fuck.
I need to bring my eyes to the dry cleaners.
Yeah, after that, need a good scrubbing. Oh, so
she ought to run with the guy with the dress. Actually, made me laugh.
I laughed at the whole thing. I get like Tucker Carlson has been just like brutal and on fire for a while now. Like he's really leaned into not just making good content, but also like really making fun of the left and using it as an opportunity to be humorous and silly at the same time. My dad watches Tucker, and like I used to watch with him when I'd be at home and stuff, and like I didn't dislike it. I just didn't necessarily like it. Wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. Like it was good stuff, but it was kind of whatever. But he's gotten to a point where like I find myself like going out of my way to find clips of segments and stuff that he does, because he has really kind of leaned into just making fun of the insanity that is the modern left wing.
His opening monologues have become like what the late night comedians used to be. But yeah, I agree. He's infiltrated my parents' living room, and I'm all for it because he's about as red pilling as they'll get, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
It was a little elitist of him on his Brown comment, though. Like, Brown's still Ivy League, not like I sent my kids there. I'm like, well, fuck you. I went to one semester of community college. Fuck you.
He said, well, it is Brown.
He was like, I would have suspected she would have been to Howard. Am I right? Oh.
I don't know what
that
the
is
ranking.
Black college, right?
Yeah,
that's what made me laugh. I don't know what the ranking of Ivy League colleges even is.
So she's Ivy League. God.
You
Let's
guys
see.
will have to, I don't know, explain to me. You didn't talk about the shooting. Had it occurred yet on Monday's show?
No, that happened. That happened later that evening. So
Okay, you're gonna have to explain the suspiciousness behind it to me because I haven't paid any attention.
oh,
If
okay,
you're planning on delving into that today,
we'll get there. You're jumping a few steps.
all right.
I wanted to play some other funny things that I found.
Setting the scene here.
I wanted to play some other funny clips that I found perusing the internet, and then we'll get to the actual serious topics. Now this one, I thought this one was like super hilarious. This is from our good friend Pete Coronas posted this. So here. The little monkey in the corner. That just
That is right up our alley.
monkey business.
This is true. The lady, I have seen many like archetypes of the lady in the top right, and that just terrifies me. That look.
Yeah, she is pretty. That's like the Uber Karen. That's like when you get to the final boss Karen.
Yeah, I had a friend who kind of looked like that, and she lived in Texas, and like we were friends for a few years, and like she's like okay, but it's like I had to like unfriend her on everything like during COVID because yeah, she just went like beyond fucking insane, dude. And like, out of curiosity, like I popped back on her page like a few months ago, and it's just all like she's losing a lot of weight. She's lost like 100 pounds. And she's like, look, I don't feel right bragging about this because it's very ableist, but I have to, I've lost 100 pounds and blah, blah, this and that. I'm like, what the fuck are you like?
Wow.
This is so fucking crazy, man.
You lost 100 pounds. That's amazing.
Yeah. But you can't brag about it because then you're, that's ableist.
So she gained it all back because she felt bad.
She's like, I don't feel that bad. But yeah, anyhow, she had that short fucking, and I don't mind short hair. But yeah, the ones that look like that, you're right, are the craziest.
Straight across, and it's kind of I don't understand it, but not really my thing.
It's like, give me a bad boy's haircut,
It really is. Honestly, it reminds me of the haircut that my son has most of the time. Like,
you don't cut his hair?
No. We actually have a barber that we go to. We really like.
You got a guy.
Yeah, we got a guy.
So you should slip that guy an extra $5 and be like, don't give him that haircut.
Well, he has been giving me a similar haircut to a less extreme degree, and I actually don't dislike it. So
your hair looks nice, Justin.
Thank you. Maybe I'm coming around to the look. Not the way he does it though. The way he does it looks silly. It's got a very Karenish vibe to it. But
I was gonna ask, does like the haircut dictate, I don't know, your vibe, your philosophy? But back when I had the neo-Nazi haircut, like that was probably my least Nazi phase. So maybe it's just because I'm a contrarian though.
I think for women, as soon as you get that haircut, like something changes. Like they can't have that much skin exposed on the side of their head, or the way the sun hits it like rewires their brain. I think that's science. It's science.
That's definitely scientific. Speaking of Karen, I rewatched Talladega Nights yesterday. And
Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
I forgot that the cougar in the car, her name is Karen. And that movie was made in 2006. I was like, this movie was like 15 years ahead of its time. You have like a screaming Karen in the car, or a screeching Karen, whatever you call what the noise that a cougar makes.
Oh, well, speaking of science, let's see. Canada's health minister demands COVID booster shots every 9 months to keep vaccine status up to date. So apparently, let's see what this moron had to say.
What we also know from Dr. Tan and
It's the
every
least surprising thing that he looks like this.
is that although 2 doses still protects significantly well against severe disease and death, 2 doses are not enough now to protect against infection and transmission. And that is why we are transitioning now to an up-to-date vaccination definition of what it means to be adequately protected against COVID-19. Fully protected with 2 doses doesn't work anymore. Dr. Tam said that last Friday. It's now up-to-date vaccination that needs to be used when you talk about what Canadians should do, what we should expect of Canadians, and what this government should be expected to do in the future.
So yeah, your 2 doses still cover you effectively, but just not so effectively that it's enough. You're gonna have to get a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 17th, 24th.
You
Just
talk
a
about
rolling
stopping
vaccine.
transmission there, but that's like never been a thing, right? Like that's pretty well established. It doesn't do that, right?
Right, not at all.
I think I saw an article over the weekend that admitted that. But
Everything about it has gotten so ridiculous. Like the CD or the information has been coming out from Pfizer, and the more of that stuff that comes out, there's it's like 2,566 pages worth of documents that show that Pfizer took the worst negative reactions to the vaccines and just tossed the data out and said that it was unrelated. Like all of the worst reactions in the phase 3 trials of the vaccines, they just threw all of that out and said, yeah, it's not related. Like, you don't get to just fucking do that. That's not the way trials work. Like, that's not research. That's not clinical trials. That's you cherry picked whatever you thought was acceptable, and anything that made it look like you were doing something wrong, you just said, yeah, we don't want that. That's not good. That's not how the scientific process works.
it is now, Justin.
Yeah, it's kind of par for the course these days, unfortunately.
Yeah, trust the science as long as the science says what you want the science to say. Otherwise, throw it out because it's not scientific.
My
right.
my biggest takeaway from that video was I forgot for a second that Canada uses that gay temperature scale. I was like, 23 degrees. Like, I'm not that far. I can't be that far away. Like, it's a lot closer. I was like, oh yeah, they're talking Celsius here. How dumb is that? That was like, it's so hot today. It was 23. Like, it sounds better just to say it was 90.
It is a bigger number. It is. Yeah, it doesn't sound nearly as impressive, you know.
Right.
My other thing is like, yeah, with metric temperature, it's like somebody says 60 degrees. I'm like, is that comfortable or dead? You know.
or while we're bagging on the metric system, like it's saying I'm 6'5" sounds a lot more impressive than saying I'm 140 centimeters or whatever. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean? Or I don't know what 2.2 or 2.1 meters or whatever. It's like, what? Go to hell with that. I'm 6'5".
I go by the Owen Benjamin measuring system, which is to say that I'm five Rogans tall.
5 Rogans.
I don't know how much a Rogan is.
He definitely looks shorter than it says he is. Because we looked it up one time, like Wikipedia or something. It says he's 5'10", and I'm like, no way, that motherfucker's 5'10".
He's 5'10".
Rogan is not 5'10".
I think it's established that he's like 5'5".
Yeah, we're watching like a stand-up thing, and he's like doing like a handstand on a stool, you know, and it's like that's a short motherfucker. You can see like comparison to the stool, right? That's a short motherfucker. Yeah, we looked it up. Like, I don't believe no 5'10".
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. But I think with like people's height, I think they just fucking change that shit all the time on like the internet to, you know, appear taller, sexier, or whatever.
Well, that's like the crazy thing that's been happening, because I was at least a small college basketball player and worked around collegiate athletes most of my time in college. Like they've started the way they list players' heights and stuff is kind of fucked up nowadays, because like most of the not to sound racist, but most of the black players have froze or like the big hair type stuff, and they're measuring these guys from the top of their hair instead of from the top of their head. So like they're listing dudes at like 6'8" that are like my height. It's like, can we get some accurate readings on the height of these folks? Like, because I went to a Murray game a couple years ago at the when they played in the OVC championship here in Evansville, and after the championship game, like we got to get down on the court, because I still know people who work in Murray's athletics program and stuff, and so like we got to get down on the court and like shake hands with the players and stuff, and it's like I've seen the roster. These guys are supposed to be taller than me. What's going on? So whatever. So, yeah,
it's a little more imposing when you got your fro all the way up. This is what Ben Wallace used to do when he played for the Pistons.
Well, like height is such a weird thing anyway, because like I've got a sort of long neck, so yeah, I'm 6'5", but like the bulk of my body is a little bit shorter than that because I do have a long neck. So like 6'5" doesn't do me any good when all of this is head.
He said I'm 6'5", most of it's head. People were like, what?
Mostly neck, Come on. I'm heavy in the neck department.
Yeah, like everything from about 5'10" up is just head and neck. Like it's not like that's doing me any good.
Oh shit.
Dag, was that a Wendy's coffee cup?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had coffee from Wendy's before.
Or breakfast.
It's okay. They have a decent breakfast sandwich that I like. So,
okay.
And they're on my way when I go this direction to town. So, yeah, I get them for breakfast a bit. Their breakfast potato wedges things aren't terrible either.
They're terrible?
They're not.
They aren't terrible. Yeah, they're not bad.
Was the sandwich the honey chicken?
Yeah, the chicken croissant with bacon on it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, they've got a biscuit one too that isn't bad, but I like the croissant one.
Just gonna turn this one into a food episode too.
He's a croissant kind of guy.
Monday was a food episode. Today is gonna be a food episode. Speaking of food,
what kind of food you talk about on Monday?
All kinds of food. Like we did a lot of grilling on Monday.
Grilled food, nice.
Oh yeah.
I actually did some grilling myself.
Huevos rancheros.
Yeah, we talked about eggs and chicken and steaks and all kinds of good stuff. Yeah.
I sold some eggs to a guy I worked with. He was Puerto Rican. I sold them to his mom, and she was very Puerto Rican. And one time she pulls up later, and she says something, like I could tell she was talking about me, like pointed at me, and he came back over and said, "What'd she say?" And he's like, "I'm not going to tell you what she said." And I'm like, "What the fuck did she say about me?" And he goes, "She asked if that was the guy with the nice huevos." I was like, "Yes." She writes your mama asking about my eggs.
Well, speaking of food, the Dutch are in full-on revolt. Specifically, the Dutch farmers, because they're
what's going on over here, anyways?
They're trying to limit
in Europe.
Yeah, they're trying to limit the. What was it? They were forcing them to cull cattle and like raising the prices on nitrogen and like the Dutch government. And this is happening all across Europe, not just here, but and there's getting similar pushback pretty across the board. So the European governments as a whole are really fucking around with the food supply and trying to force farmers to do some bullshit that they shouldn't be doing. So
they say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my way. We'll go far. I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back to you. I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my
I'm not sure about the choice of background music for the video.
You got to remember, it's some European shit, so that's probably like normal for them. Like if this was going on in the U.S., you'd probably have some Toby Keith or something. But that's probably like traditional redneck music in Europe.
That's what those big Hollanders listen to, huh?
Yeah. But so they're driving around in their tractors. They're flipping police cars with the forks on their tractors. They're pushing stuff around. They're spraying the police with manure. They're dumping manure and stuff in the streets and on the steps of Parliament. Like they're going big. And I saw a report. I'd have to find the article. A police officer shot a farmer yesterday, and so now shit's about to like really kick off. I mean, like, how do we rally farmers to do this shit here? Because if the farmers started showing up en masse with tractors and big equipment, they would also be armed to the fucking teeth, because every farmer I know usually carries a gun in the tractor. Like, so how do we get the farmers mobilized here in the U.S.? Because if that happened, there's no resistance that's standing up to that. Like that would overturn the U.S. military, honestly.
They do this shit all the time in France, of all places. Why the fuck can't we get our shit together? It's always bugged me.
You guys are the farmers on this show, so.
I guess really it's up to me, huh? I haven't sprayed manure on the my county courthouse yet. I guess it's really on me. But asking everybody else to take up the mantle, I guess I should start.
Dag here taking accountability on the show.
You know what? As soon as I get done with the main bedroom and get the shit out of my garage, I'm gonna get my tractor out. I'm gonna mount guns to it, and we're gonna do this.
For the Clint's feds watching this stream, I do not endorse this.
Mark is the one who's gonna sit on the gun turret on the tractor.
Do the actual firing. Trigger Man Mark, that's what we call him.
I just want to blow a trumpet.
Yeah, Trey does have kind of a point here. He says, the number one, the farmers get a lot of subsidies, which is not untrue. And then also, farming really isn't being persecuted in red states. So yeah, I mean that's more of a push for national divorce and balkanization than anything is.
Yeah, it's going to be small farmers like me who do it. The non-subsidy farmers.
Well, probably all it would take is for somebody to come storming onto your property and kill your favorite rooster. And that would probably push you over the edge, I would imagine.
I don't know.
It might.
Back when our neighbors and my parents had a favorite rooster, I was the one that was going to kill it.
Man accused of killing neighbor's rooster claims self-defense. And of course, this is some Florida man shit. A Florida man spent a month in jail on accusations he killed his neighbor's pet rooster. He claims the rooster was a menace in the neighborhood and attacked him. James Nix Jr. hit his neighbor's pet rooster, Big Roo, with a stick in a May incident. He says the rooster followed him and attacked him, so he was trying to get the animal away. Its neck flares up and he's doing his thing and he's trying to jump at me, so I defended myself. I was fearing for my safety, and the chicken died. I didn't know to give it a 21 gun salute, CPR, mouth to mouth, or call the chicken ambulance. Next thing you know, he calls the chicken police on me. Chickens died every day. People at churches, Popeyes, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Really?
No, is this real?
It's real. It is real. He whopped this chicken over the head with a stick and killed it.
Niall was telling me about this yesterday.
Call them the chicken police.
What? Roosters are fucking crazy, though. I mean,
those guys are mean.
They get territorial and they can get kind of aggressive. I get it. We've our neighbor over here, he has a rooster that when we first moved here just like wandered around, and so when we set up our pen and everything and brought our chickens up here, he just stayed over here in our yard all the time. And then he started camping out on the damn porch sleeping right outside of our window and would get up at 4 o'clock every morning and start cockadoodling. It's like, no, this motherfucker's got to go. It was like we had to call our neighbor and be like, look, we don't mind him hanging around the pen, but he's sleeping on the front porch and he's a nuisance in the morning. Like, either you come get him or I'm going to whop his head and he's going to be supper.
Carl's gone too far. Just seems like a good name for a rooster.
And, the girls called him Roosty. Roosty the
Sounds
rooster.
right.
Original.
Yeah, kids with their
Kids
with their names.
You got a dog named Doggy and a cat named Catty.
So our old cat, her name was Mongo, which was short for mongrel because she was very ugly. And then our current cat, his name is Beans because he has giant nuts.
Nice.
They named him Beans before his nuts became giant, but now it's just really fitting. Let's see. All right, I guess it's time to get to it, right? Let's get into the topic. And this is going to be used. The whole Robert Crimo situation. Did you see the thing, Mark? I know Dag and Clyde both saw it and they had commented on it. Did you see the thing like the YouTube, or not the YouTube? Well, I mean, there was the YouTube thing, but the Twitter account that it was just the name of the Twitter account was Robert Crimo does not exist. And there was a singular post from May 17th of this year that the only thing it said was Robert Crimo doesn't exist. And it's like, it seems kind of weird and suspicious that a month and a half later, that's the dude that's, shooting up this Chicago parade. And then in response to that,
did he have any likes? Not like on his post, but like, did he like anything?
Oh, see, I don't know about that. Trey, you calm down. We're going to talk about that too.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that to me too. Whenever I see CERN, I just think of Mike Cernovich, but I don't think that's what this is talking about.
No. We'll get to that. So this guy, within an hour or so of the shooting, his Facebook page disappears. His YouTube channel disappears. He went by this his stage name or whatever was Awake the Rapper, and he had like a YouTube channel with all of his rap shit. I don't know.
I didn't know he was a rapper. I saw his face.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Supposedly he wasn't bad. I don't know. I listened to I watched a couple of his things.
According to who?
Right. That's kind of what I like. I'm more of like a 90s gangster rap type guy, not this like new mumble rap whatever shit. So
Someone please clip that as well.
Shout hell yeah for my vehicle. Living is a miracle. You know. Good shit.
Yeah, this new age shit just really isn't my cup of tea. I prefer some good old school style rap. But anyway, his YouTube channel got removed. There were people who like could see the writing on the wall because it was kind of like it felt very reminiscent of the New York subway shooter and his YouTube channel. So as soon as it happened, like people were going through this dude's YouTube page, just like downloading everything, and then they were posting that stuff to Twitter.
Like rap, but I'm not sure that you can even call that rap.
So they were posting that stuff to Twitter, and Twitter started taking people's accounts down for posting the stuff that had been on this dude's YouTube page. And people were posting screenshots of like the messages they were getting because they were posting that stuff. Like everything about it is fucking crazy. Well, and then naturally, there's also reports that the authorities were aware of and knew this guy, and go figure, he's been in police custody within the last 6 months or so, and they have had conversations with him, and there were a lot of his videos where he was talking directly to his FBI agent, whether it was jokingly or not. It just seems kind of like we joke about the feds that are listening to our phones and stuff all the time. So it could have been done in good humor, but also, what happened to the guy that the Uvalde shooter was messaging on Facebook? Like, why have we never gotten any answers about that? So here we are. Well, and the natural response from the left is that means that red flag laws and assault weapons bans are the next logical step to solving all of these problems. Let's hear from some dumbass in Chicago.
They're really trying with that this year. Like, how many shootings is that? Well, yes, the left. It's the 797th mass shooting of the year. So I guess that's a stupid question to ask.
We'll get into that. Let's listen to this jack off.
Celebration of freedom has ended in despair for our community. All of the people who died steps from here lost their freedom. All of it. Every ounce of freedom that they had. The freedom to love, the freedom to learn, and the freedom to live a full life. Their freedom matters too. We must do more as we think and reflect upon their freedom on this July 5th. Illinois has a strong red flag law that keeps communities safe and respects everyone's rights. We must vastly increase awareness and education about this red flag law called the Illinois Firearm Restraining Order. The goal of this tool is to ensure the safety of the individual and those around them. It allows courts to temporarily remove guns and prevent the purchase of new guns by individuals who pose a significant risk. As I said, this tool allows temporary removal from the subject and prohibits the new purchase during...
Say what?
They don't even have the people in the graves yet. These people are clapping at this guy's speech like it's a...
Right, like that's like what Trey is saying. Like, why do they always have to walk on the bodies to say this shit? And why does no one challenge them? Like, they're using this as nothing but propaganda, which obviously that's the whole point of it, right? Like, that's why this guy was known by the feds to begin with. They've had him in custody sometime within the last 6 months, just like the Uvalde shooter, just like the Buffalo shooter, just like the New York subway shooter, just like every fucking shooter that's come up for the last since 2018 at least. I mean, it doesn't take long. If you do just a basic Google search, you can find damn near every like big mass shooter that's been in the news since 2014 had been in Fed custody at some point 6 months prior to the shooting taking place. Like, every single fucking one, to a T without fail. Like, what the fuck? Do people not like? I can drop this dumbass out. He doesn't contribute anything else of importance to the rest of this. Like, the big talking point of the speech is that we have these great red flag laws in Illinois, and we need to nationalize these great red flag laws that we have in Illinois. It didn't fucking work. I mean, okay, this was probably one of the least deadly shootings that's happened in Chicago this year.
Hey, that's right. You don't bring those ones up. That's racist, man.
It was like somebody was like, there was a shooting in Chicago. It's like, yeah, no shit. That's every weekend. What are you talking about? Like, and then it, and then all the other information starts coming out about it. But it's like, there was a shooting in Chicago. It's like, okay, how is that news? Like, they don't cover any of the other ones. Why are we covering this one? And then everything that comes out about it. But so then this guy goes on to talk about the assault weapons ban, and he says that the assault weapons ban was put in place in 1994 and ran for 10 years, and it was proven to be effective, except that there's literally just pages and 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 pages of statistics that show that the assault weapons ban from 1994 did literally jack fucking shit. It accomplished absolutely nothing. Nothing changed for the 10 years that the assault weapons ban was in place. And in fact, since the assault weapons ban expired, things have actually gotten better if you look at the real statistics for shootings that are the result of assault weapons. So, like, these fucking retards. It pisses me off.
Yeah, I guess I have to go to you to get all of my shooting news. Because whenever any of these things happens, I purposely ignore anything because I know you find all these similar strains, and I just don't like to dwell on that stuff anymore.
That's he says he's joking, but like for real, nobody cares. Nobody actually cares about statistics. I have done, I don't know, 2 or 3 different episodes where I've gone into the actual like gun violence statistics and looked at the different regulations and laws and everything that are on the books and like do a deep dive on all of the gun violence stats and stuff. And nobody cares. Like nothing that gets run in the mainstream media is nothing that gets done in the mainstream media, nothing that any politician says, it's not factual, it's not scientific, it's not based in reality, and nobody cares. Everybody just runs with it like these are all accurate fact check talking points, and none of it is. It's fucking infuriating. I mean, yeah, I should probably not get as worked up about it, but like in the information, like in the age of information, ignorance is like the highest crime, and that's all we are, is an ignorant society. Nobody actually looks for truth. Everybody just assumes that they're being told the truth all the time. Live in a world of fucktards. What else do we have anything else to cover on the the
kid looks disturbing.
Yeah, I wasn't going to show any pictures of it.
And I believe he may have been a fan of AOC. Did I see that correctly?
So the left is trying to say that he was a Trump supporter.
Yeah, this is always the thing, right?
The right is saying that he was Antifa or a communist. It looks like the Trump supporting stuff was not. So they took like stills of him holding a Trump flag and different stuff like that. But if you put that stuff into context, those are actually instances where he was making fun of and kind of taking jabs at Trump supporters and stuff. So who knows? I mean, yeah, he was a fan of the leftist stuff and just faked maggots sometimes as a troll. And
so all you gotta do is look at his eyes and look at just his overall makeup, and it's easy to see why a Fed could enter his his messaging and be like, "Hey, buddy, you got to do something about it."
All right, so are we ready to get to CERN?
I'd love to get to CERN.
All right, let's talk about CERN since both Damar and Trey want to talk about it. So CERN is this giant particle collider. The last time they fired it up was
First of all, where is it?
That's a good question. Hang on, I had a bunch of stuff.
Oh wait, did you highlight what Trey said here? He was also wearing a dress. I shouldn't laugh.
Look, we can't be judgmental on that. No,
I can be judgmental.
Hey, it's fucking hot out. If I were to wear a sundress, I'll wear a goddamn sundress, and I'll
you
be
want
your
that
judgment mark.
draft to ball up your legs, whatever.
As
you know it.
As a Scotsman who wears a kilt from time to time, the airing out of the nether regions with the with that open bottom is kind of nice. Honestly, I may break out the kilt. And,
when you say wear a kilt from time to time, like when you take a trip to Walmart, is like. When are you putting on this kilt?
I have like a dressy kilt for like Easter and Christmas and stuff, and then I also have a tactical kilt for yard work and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Funeral kilt, You wear
anything underneath?
I need to get with the dressy one for church. Yes,
that's kind of you.
Yeah, but no.
Poor Elmira in the front row might be a little.
The tactical kilt, no, that's not. You don't. Why would you do that? That's
pulling a Sharon Stone in front of the whole church.
I need to get one of those. I need to get like a thick leather one for like work type stuff. Like the tactical one it's like a kind of a thicker fabric material, so like it's good for yard work and stuff. But like if I was doing something like cutting or grinding or metal work or something like that.
You watch Braveheart every week?
Not every week, but at least once a month.
It's all right.
All right.
Man, the Patriot.
We're speaking of Braveheart and Patriot, we're actively trying to get Mel onto the show. I don't know how active it is, but
have you sent him that? Have you sent him an email yet?
You want me to send him the email?
You're a little more up his alley.
Yeah, you jive with him the most.
Yeah, I'll get on that.
All right, so on to CERN. I thought it was 2014. The last time they fired it up was in like 2012, and apparently like a bunch of black holes and stuff started opening up, and they shut it back down. It's supposed to go live. I thought it was supposed to go live yesterday. I don't know that it did. It's coming though. It's going live sometime soon, and they're going to be firing it up at a higher energy level than has ever been tested or run on anything before. So there's speculation that this is going to like open up wormholes into other dimensions, and it's going to be the end of the world, basically. Which I'm all for it. Like, I'm hoping that this opens up portals to the multiverse, and we just have like. Honestly, I want to see at least 3 other dimensional me's come running into this one, and then we can just like really take the arsenal and go like fuck some shit up. Because like one me is only enough to do so much damage, but if I get like 3 more me's, we could really wreak havoc on this world.
Oh my God!
All of you,
there's a whole basketball team of spear chuckers running around causing havoc.
If this happens, that's going to be Friday's show. I'm not including any of y'all. It's going to be 5 me's on the screen, and we're just gonna go around the horn. We're all going to wear the same shirt,
the same kilt.
So I remember, I guess, back whenever they originally did this, and somebody telling me about it. And just being like, wow, this seems kind of terrifying, and are you saying that it actually did like start to create black holes? What does that even like mean? That's even more terrifying that actually happened. And I guess they're going to do this again. I'm just glad I recently stocked up on drugs. Because fuck, man, if it's about to get weird, I mean,
if the stuff that I saw was accurate, like throughout the universe, I don't know, they have a way of like tracking. So black holes create a really specific like energy wave, like the way that basically when a black hole opens up, the way that everything just kind of like disappears into it. When they fired this thing up previously, shortly thereafter, there started to be a lot of incidences of like the way they track those energy signatures and stuff, where they were finding a lot more black holes appearing.
Like
who found the black holes though?
Like out there, you're saying, or the black holes didn't appear in this fucking collider or whatever. They appeared
right
out there.
They appeared throughout the universe. Not like it wasn't like a dozen black holes appeared around the Earth or something. Like
where'd the janitor go? He was just standing right here.
Right, they appeared throughout the universe, and it like they're super intelligent, like rocket scientists, and
yeah, I don't trust these guys.
Well, whether you trust them or not, supposedly they track this stuff, and they're
well, people tried to tell me this stuff about epidemiologists in 2020. Whether you trust them or not, they're telling the truth. I was like, no, they're not.
Look, all I'm saying is there's no reason I shouldn't be able to grow any plant that I want or own a fucking rocket launcher if these goddamn scientists get to play around with this shit. You know what I mean? I mean, for fuck's sake, who am I really going to hurt?
Right? Like, worst case scenario, you blow yourself up with the rocket launcher. Maybe a neighbor,
Yeah.
They're opening up black holes across the universe and possibly causing a spatial rift that sucks us all in, and it might be the end of the world as we know it. But yeah, like it's wrong for me to have
I just want to kill my weed patch with a rocket launcher. That's all I want. You
Right.
know,
Why
That's
can't
not
I
asking
have
too
like a
much.
napalm flamethrower, huh?
Oh, did you guys see the I think I posted a few days ago the guy who burned the fucking flag with a flamethrower? Fucking funny.
Oh, did you see there's like a flamethrower attachment for like your AR. It like
Sweet.
I gotta find the video of it. It is really sweet. So this guy's like sitting there like firing off shots, and then he just like hits the button and starts throwing flames while he's still shooting. It's fucking awesome.
Well,
See,
I
this
guess
is,
good thing for the benefit of you guys and the listeners, my 9 o'clock appointment has not shown up yet. So,
nice.
yeah.
Did you highlight this?
Yes, that's
Oh.
what I had said.
Yeah, that's incredibly vague to me. They have a tracker that somehow sees signature of black holes.
I told you there's like a specific energy pattern or energy like wave pattern that that exists around black holes. And so when they had fired this thing up previously, they started to see a lot more of these energy signatures.
I think
that just like appear across the universe.
I think, and Dag might be able to back me up here, what really happens is they amp up this little science machine of theirs and they take some ayahuasca and they start seeing stuff all over and they're like, oh, the machine just created a whole bunch of black holes, and there's like Beavis and Butthead sitting around all hopped up on drugs, and they're like, we're gonna tell the world about what we just did.
It's either that or I think you're onto something with not believing them, if nothing else, that it's like, hey, we got to show that we did something, so they keep giving us funding. So let's just say we found a bunch of black holes, make them respect us.
Just write a white paper, peer review it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not like you or I can fucking fact check that shit. Oh, let me just turn on my black hole detecting machine. I keep it out back, You'll fire it up.
I'm
Might
gonna
need an oil change. It hasn't run in a minute.
I'm gonna build one of those, and it's gonna legitimately bring about the end of the world.
Oh man, that is just crazy that they even
build your own Tower of Babel, man.
Your own ladder to heaven.
Yep. Let's see. Well, we got a few minutes before the world does end.
I'm sorry that I am such a black hole skeptic.
Before the world does end, let's see if we can get our oil prices up a little bit higher. Biden keeps touting how he's releasing all this oil from the U.S. Like 1 million barrels a day are being released from the U.S. reserves so they can get gas prices down. Oil from U.S. reserves is being sent overseas as gasoline prices.
Do you think he's riffing when he gets up there and like lectures us about complaining about gas prices, or is that part of his notes? Because he's done this like 3 times now, where he just goes, "You guys are gonna have to bear with it. We're in a time of war."
Got to be the planned speech, man. I can't imagine he riffed anything.
It's just like, even when he's blaming on war, like the guy, the president's usually like, I mean, we feel you, we empathize with you, or whatever. But no, they say it's just like, get over it, plebs.
The tone has been pretty harsh.
We've seen so many times where it's funny because there are actually pictures where you can see his notes. You can see what he's supposed to be talking about. And then you can also watch the speech, and he doesn't stick to his notes. He fucks it up like 80% of the time.
That's what I'm asking. Like, I think that part might be he's just really frustrated. It's like old man frustration coming out.
I think a lot of these where he just kind of seems to ramble on this shit. I don't think it's a planned speech. Like, I think he just kind of falls off in. Somebody will ask a question or somebody will say something, and he'll like fall off into this rabbit hole in his own head and just go to rambling and getting all pissed off and yelling about it. And like, I don't think they have any control over what he says when he gets up on stage, because he's losing his mental faculties so fast or so quickly that it's just like whatever happens. I mean,
I saw a video of him forgetting "God Bless America" yesterday or a couple of days ago. He had to ask his wife what that part was. He goes, and she goes, "God bless America."
They can only use the Easter Bunny to save him, on one day a year. So unfortunately, they can't just keep the Easter Bunny next to him year round to dip him off screen if he goes to start going off script, you know.
Man, on the 4th of July, they just should have dressed somebody up like Uncle Sam and had him on
Yeah,
stage with you.
Uncle
Like,
Sam.
just like only put him on stage in holidays and have somebody dressed as a character so that as he starts to wander off or say something, they can just like kind of walk up and put their
Uncle Sam can put his hat over him and contain him. Santa can put him in the sack. Like, I mean, they got all sorts of things they can do.
Yeah. I don't understand why this was the year that they decided to let him talk. Like, he did fewer press conferences in the first year of his presidency than any president ever. And the very, very rare occasions where they put him on stage, it was incredibly controlled. The journalists who were allowed in the room weren't allowed to ask questions. Like a couple times, some of them would yell a question, and he would actually like stop to try to answer it, and then they would just like shoo him out like as fast as they could. Like they would corral him and run him off the stage before he had a chance to say anything stupid. And now they keep putting him up there and letting him ramble. Like, it feels deliberate. And there was a poll.
I agree.
There was a poll that showed like I can't remember what the exact number was. It was like 72% of Democrats polled think Biden should retire. It feels like they're doing this deliberately, and I've said it before. Like they're trying to set up whatever the next thing is, and the next thing is not Kamala Harris.
I believe you, and just to back that up, because yeah, I mean, it seems like they're trying to make him look incompetent for whatever reason.
They put him on
about, like you said, a poll that people don't want him to run again. Dave Smith had played a clip the other day from what was it? AOC on like Stephen Colbert show or something, and he asked her like, "Are you going to run in 2024?" I'm like, she didn't say no, so. It is almost like they're trying to prime people to be okay with us not having a constituent president thing, because that is so atypical, right? So I almost feel like maybe on the better side of things, maybe they're just priming us for not a Kamala or whoever is next, probably not Kamala, but whoever. And then of course we could go more sinister and say God only knows, not even just like an AOC, it's just a whole new government system or something, a tribunal. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they would have to, if they did it like in the system that we have now, like they'd have to make it seem like it wasn't necessarily a challenge from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be kind of difficult.
Exactly.
They might be trying to figure that out. Or like, how do you get rid of Kamala?
Oh man, they've got everything they need on her. They can run her. They can run her out on a reel anytime they want.
They might Andrew Cuomo her finally, like
release her twerking videos.
She is probably as compromised as anybody in the political system right now. Like I would be willing to bet if they decided they were ready to wash their hands of her, she would disappear so fast you wouldn't even realize that she had ever existed. That's just my theory. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but she is so unimpressive, and the way she's gotten to the point where she is right now, it just like there's no way they don't have everything they need on her.
She doesn't really have a fan base either, so like who would care?
Right? Like
at least as far as I know, I can't imagine she has a fan base.
No, that's a thing that there have been a lot of articles that have been written about Biden's low approval ratings. They don't talk about it nearly as much. So like Biden is polling anywhere in like the mid to upper 30 percentile for approval rating. Kamala is in like the low 20s in every poll that I've seen for the last year. Like, and her and like for as much as they talked about like turnover in Trump's staff, the entire Kamala Harris staff has quit on at least 2 separate occasions. Like everybody on her staff just said, "We're out. Fuck this." Like she is wildly unpopular, and they don't talk about it at all. Like they are. It seems like an even more active campaign to brush her under the rug than what they were doing with trying to keep Biden hidden for the first year of this presidency. Like it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, she's I mean, they tried to push her way back in 2019 as a front runner, and that failed. Like nobody was having it. Tulsi killed her on stage that one time during the debate.
Well, she wasn't popular before Tulsi just absolutely wrecked her. And then when Tulsi did that, that was it. Like she went in the tank. Like she at least had the DNC boost that was like artificially keeping her kind of propped up at that time. And then whenever Tulsi did that, it was like all of that just completely, the bottom fell out of it. So like nobody wants this bitch. And then
so that's why they're bringing out the twerkers, because they tried to lift up Beto during that campaign, it seemed like. And everyone's like, no, I want Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, isn't that kind of an indictment of the Democratic Party itself? Is that of all of these like young, fresh faces who are supposed to be like the future, everybody hates all of them, and they just want fucking Bernie or Biden. Like they want the status quo bullshit that they don't want. Nobody wants anything to do with any of these new fuckers. Like,
what is wrong with Dag here? Oh wait, there he is.
Sorry, I'm setting my GPS. I'm charging these people for a no-show, and I'm going to my next site.
There you go.
Yeah, fuck these.
I thought you said Clyde was a short timer today. I don't see Clyde here at all, unless he's going to show up for the final 2 minutes.
Well, he said he had his two youngest kids in the car with him, and they're the ones who were loud and screeched the whole time. So that he thought he might try to jump in, but apparently the children are not going to cooperate and allow that to happen.
Little curtain climbers.
If you guys want to see a picture of one of Clyde's children, just look up at one of my comments. And I don't remember where I commented it last night, but
I got it. I got this. Hang on. We're not going to let this opportunity pass us by. There we go. That's Clyde's kid.
Acting all creepy and everything.
A little winking and nodding. Pretty impressive. We got anything else to talk about today?
I don't think so.
What day is it? Today is Wednesday. Okay.
Today is Wednesday, July 6th, 2020. End of the world imminent.
2020.
2022. Sorry.
Please no.
Oh shit. Yeah, my whole week's like the days have been on. I don't know. It's been a weird weekend. I've already tried remembering what day it is the last few days.
Yeah. It's the holiday weekends goof me up. Is DeMar here only 15? He wants to know if the world is going to end.
I mean, he says he's only 15.
To which I would reply, simultaneously live as if the world won't end and as if it will end, and try to figure that out.
Yeah, if you're 15, I'd say just don't worry about it. Like, if it ends, it's not like there's anything you can do about it. You know.
True.
Try to have a good life. Enjoy yourself.
Don't bet on the end of the world.
That's right. What's the saying? Fuck bitches, make money.
There you go. Bet on yourself, not people, because people are retarded.
That's fuck.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.